This is the Frank and Friends show. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Mary.
What?
I'm Mary.
Oh, I thought you said Mary.
Mary.
I got to check. I thought
And
I invited
bright.
Sarah Roberto over here today, and it says on the bottom of the screen.
I'm also Sarah Roberto. Yes.
Okay, I got me worried. You are Mary and Bright, and you've talked me into wearing the cheesy holiday jacket.
Christmas time is here.
Well, no, it's Advent, but
Advent time is here.
Christmas begins on December 25th and goes through January 6th.
Yes, well, okay.
I'm very particular.
I'm just excited.
I know you're excited. I love Advent. Advent is wonderful.
It is.
Here we are, celebrating the impending arrival of Christmas. But I didn't get to wear this jacket to either of my parades this year because it was rainy and cold.
Yeah.
And I was so desperately trying to promote the Frank and Friends show that I wore the hoodie.
The Frank and Friends hoodie?
This one.
Yeah.
The Frank and Friends hoodie.
Okay, but it's red and it's festive,
I
so
thought
we're good.
so.
Yeah.
So I wore this with a candy cane shirt and candy cane tie that
yes.
I thought looked great. If, in my opinion, I thought it looked fantastic.
Amazing.
Is what I thought. So
I still love the jacket though. And what you're describing, if you wore candy canes, that's very like David S. Pumpkins.
oh well, no, it wasn't that candy.
Right?
I mean, no. Maybe I should try to find. Well, I can't. Why can I show you a picture?
But you know who that is, right?
It's Tom Hanks wearing
Yes.
his
Any questions?
what would you call that? His Halloween outfit, right?
Yes. His little weird viral 2010s SNL skit.
Now I'm trying to see if I can pull up a picture. When I say candy cane shirt and tie, I think I posted one on Instagram, and if not, well then.
Yeah, I'm just thinking loud and Christmassy and
It's not that loud.
amazing.
You see, it's a red and white striped shirt.
Look, I'm candy striper.
and then a candy cane-ish.
Not to be confused with
tie.
a candy striper. Like, you look like a nice person here to help.
Thank you. Well, that's Becca and me at the Carnes Parade.
Yay, Becca.
And then I wore the same thing later that day with Heather Wallaga to do the Rocky Hill
Did you
Christmas
do Rocky
Parade.
Hill? Yeah, it's right
But
up the street from me.
Both folks said, "Oh, you didn't wear your loud Kroger jacket that you've worn
Yeah.
the past few years." But it was rainy and it was
You should
cold.
tell people that's couture. Like, don't
Cro-
even tell them it's from...
Kroger?
It's Kroger. I got it from Italy. Kroger.
Yes,
Whatever,
this
that
is
doesn't
my.
sound Italian.
What also is weird is the shoulder pads make it look like I've got. I'm just not.
Yes.
There's so much of this is all fake. Everything up there.
You're giving away all your secrets.
I can't help myself.
Where it's from.
Can't help myself.
Shoulder
So, if you do want to get some of our merch, like
Yes.
the towel, like Sarah and her bucket hat, like
have
the mug,
mugs.
like the beautiful
Mugs.
towel.
I've got this at home. Love it.
You have the
Ordered
mug?
it. Yeah.
Oh, can I buy it from you?
Oh, buy your own.
Okay, I need another one.
I have the sign in my office.
I would like to see pictures of all of these things because I know that I can see the ka-ching on the cash register
Yes.
that it was sold. I didn't know who bought it, but I know that you told me you bought it, and I've seen you with the bucket hat.
Yes, I brought the bucket hat before. It's fun.
And I've even took a picture of it and put it into a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah.
I did an insert of you
Rocking the bucket hat.
rocking the bucket hat.
Yeah. They're coming back in style. That was like a very early 2000s thing.
I think you're wrong.
They're coming back around. No, everything like late 90s, early 2000s is coming back again. All
wow.
the fashion, all the bad fashion from back then. See,
Yeah.
you didn't wear it. You and Jere didn't wear it because that was...
Is that why you're looking around and saying, "Oh, I wish I still had those things from the '90s, like those Santa Clauses"? I've got a
the
Santa. I
Santa
can't wear.
Claus
I
is
can't.
so
I don't know where he
cute.
is.
No,
there's a
love-
Santa back behind me there.
We love nostalgic Christmas. It's
Yeah.
cute.
Well,
And
it wasn't nostalgic
they
when we bought it. It was brand
They
new.
have real bulbs. Watch, I'm going to break one of
Stop!
these.
Oh, geez, you get me in trouble. Now, those might actually be antique.
They're beautiful.
Those look like
can't be
they
trusted.
are probably hand-me-downs from the late great Aunt Dee
Yeah.
or Jerry's mom. So those are probably from the 40s and
So
50s
I need to
or 60s.
make
you know?
sure. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay.
So those are probably hand-me-down. That's why
All
they're
right.
not on the tree.
Stop touching things, Sarah.
I think
but
that's
they're
where we're
so
headed.
pretty.
I know they're pretty.
I know,
but
it's so festive. Stop touching
I'm
them.
just trying to like. Oh
Don't
no! What do I do?
get-
What do I do?
Break. I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, we do appreciate your watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing,
Yes.
especially on YouTube or on any of the audio podcast apps. Obviously, we are gearing up. We had the nice episode last week with Mindy from the Nativity Pageant of Knoxville,
yeah.
which I thought was nice. And then I think Becca is coming next week to record something. We can do a little more
Christmassy?
I hope. I mean, keep it Christmassy. I'm trying to keep the episodes coming out. My wife sprung on me the other day that she's planning to go visit family between Christmas and New Year's. Because she's booked all the way up through 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve. You know, she's got musical gigs that basically she's finally done around 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve. And
she's blessing us with her voice.
She does.
Yes.
She does.
Which we love.
And then I signed up to be a reader at church at the midnight mass.
Oh my gosh. I go to bed at 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve, so God bless you, because I could never.
I signed up to be the reader. I thought, well, I don't know. I feel like I can do it. I'm going to be there
you've
anyway.
Got the great voice for
I thought it would be nice. Yeah. So there's an app. You do it on an app. And I get the email. The Christmas Eve schedule is here. Go on the app and sign up.
Well, what do you read?
I am locked out of the app. I have to re-enter because I got updated my iOS 17, which is a mess of pain. It messed up my Apple CarPlay. It's messed up every app on the phone. So I'm logged out of the ministry app where you sign up to be a reader or whatever. Locked out of it. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I'm not going to be reading it Christmas Eve apparently. So I asked Jere if I try to go into the passwords, which are locked in this other app.
Okay, at least you have that going. My dad writes them down on a piece of paper.
But then I got locked. But then I got locked out. I got locked out of the secret app that has the secret passwords. Well, because it didn't recognize my fingerprint. And because the problem is it's winter time and my fingers are not moisturized, so the fingerprint doesn't work for me during the winter.
OMG.
I have to moisturize to the point to get my fingerprints to be recognizable.
So did you ever get in and get it fixed?
No, well, I did not. Jere did.
Okay.
And and then meanwhile, I'm searching through for the scratch of paper where I originally wrote down the password, I was trying to think up a new password. And then I found 2 notes where apparently I had already forgotten the password once and changed it to something else. And now I've got to guess.
Which one it is?
Well, I guessed correctly. I got in, and the midnight mass is still available.
Okay.
The second reader midnight mass. So I'm like, okay, click. I'm in. I get the confirmation email.
You're all set.
I go out to lunch with this lady who goes to my church. She's works at a nonprofit, a charity, and they wanted me to MC something for free.
Always for free.
No, pay me.
Yeah.
So they want me to do something for free, but she mentions, "Oh, I see you took my traditional second reading at midnight mass."
Oh, drama.
I'm like, oh, you're the one who normally does that? I did not know. Would you like it back? I can transfer it to you. I know how to do that.
You're so nice. I would keep it.
She says, no, you've got a good voice. I'm like, well, so do you.
Maybe you can do, do it together, like a little Christmas duet.
Like I put on a little Christmas pageant up there on the. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no. Okay.
I don't think that's how it goes.
It's still fun.
So anyway, Christmas
drama. I mean, we're just barely into December, and here we go.
Well, do you like Christmas songs? Because
it depends.
I always find it. I mean, as someone who grew up celebrating and dragging on Christmas later, we would always keep the tree up till Epiphany at least, or sometimes well into January. Because especially growing up in New York, I mean, what's the rush to take it down?
Yeah, for sure.
And my parents when I was a kid, they would go buy the cut tree on Christmas Eve. So they didn't put the tree up until the day before. And I don't think it was super religious reasons. I just think they didn't get around to it. They had a lot going on.
That was more the normal tradition, is to not really put up your tree till right before.
Yeah, and then I see people selling cut trees before Thanksgiving. I'm like,
yes.
How? Those are going to be so dried out.
They are. You have to water them crazy.
We when we moved here, we switched to an artificial tree. We always used to have live trees. But the first couple of years we moved here, we were going to travel to St. Louis to see Aunt Dee when she was alive and had those ornaments. And so I thought, well, I can't leave the house, our beautiful house that we now love, to burn down. We just get an artificial tree.
Yes.
I don't know, it's going to burn down while we're out of town with no lights on. I don't even understand.
Or it could be like a National Lampoon's thing where, like a little squirrel is in there, and then you come home and the squirrel's destroyed your house.
So
problems.
We switched to artificial trees back in those days. Yeah. But now it's, of course, easier to put those up early. And still, we leave it up a little later. But the whole idea of Christmas songs on the radio, starting
November
in
1st.
October, November, but then being gone by noon on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
They turn them off, usually later in the day, usually like 9 or 10, but some stations I've worked at 12 noon, Christmas Day, it's back to the hits.
Yes.
It's regular again.
Because people are sick of their families, and they they need to think about Christmas.
See, I think that's when you want to hear the Christmas songs all the more is during that week between Christmas and New Year, when you're lounging around the house,
off.
nobody knows what day it is, you're all full of cheese.
And chocolate.
And all the things.
Yeah.
And you want to turn on the radio, and you don't want to hear the hits. You want to still hear Nat King Cole or Andy Williams. And I guess maybe radio has figured out that we don't care about radio anymore and that we can just listen to those songs on Spotify.
Yeah, but do you know what's crazy is that Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Number one, baby.
Number one this week. After, 65 years after it was released? So
Well, it's because Billboard doesn't care how they do the charts anymore. They've changed the way...
just do whatever they want.
Well, no, they just changed it. I don't know if it's more accurate now or it was more accurate before, but it used to be based on a formula that was very heavy on sales, I think.
Okay.
And maybe some on radio airplay. But you wouldn't report Christmas songs. We didn't have a Christmas chart like they did in England. So Christmas songs were not even included on the list.
Until when?
About 10 years ago, they started maybe redoing the way that they calculate the list based more on airplay, and also these stations that are going all Christmas earlier in the year, meaning closer to Thanksgiving. So, the way the whole list is calculated, it's got more to do with streaming.
Yes.
So it's probably more accurate than
what people are actually listening to.
Yeah, probably. But so now all these Christmas songs pop in, and it's been Mariah Carey every
All I Want
year
for Christmas
as the number one pops in. But this year she's number 2, and Brenda Lee is number 1.
I know, I love it. I don't know why that song, but
well, it's overplayed.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the other issue I have. And I know my radio station plays 1 Christmas song per hour. We're going to probably up it to 2 this week, whatever. But we're only playing the secular ones, which I can tolerate the secular ones.
Like Jingle Bells or...
Yeah. But it's like I need for every 2 secular ones, I need a real religious one.
Yeah.
Or it's like eating just sugar, and no meat.
No substance.
Right. It's like a sandwich. It's just bread. And the bread is Brenda Lee and Mariah Carey and Wham and Hall & Oates and all these songs. But I need at least, even if it's, I don't care if it's Carrie Underwood or if it's Amy Grant. I don't care if it's Kiri Takanawa. I don't care if it's Jim Nabors or Elvis. As long as somebody's singing Nat King Cole doing "Oh Come All You Faithful," please, I need to hear something
something of substance.
Of substance to go between all the beautiful cotton candy fluff.
But what is your favorite Christmas song? If you had
my favorite Christmas recording is by the Boston Pops, and it is called A Christmas Festival Overture, and it's 8.5 minutes long, and it's a medley of Christmas songs.
You're going to be very disappointed with my answer. That was such a great, artistic, beautiful answer.
What is your favorite Christmas song, Sarah?
I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
By Gayla Peevey?
Is that who it's by? I don't know. I just like that song. Casey Musgraves does it, too.
I think it's hilarious that hippopotamus are the, deadliest land animal.
Yeah.
In real life.
You do not really want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
No, I mean, they have killed...
They will mess you up.
I don't know how you do the math, but if it's per capita or proportionately, but somehow there are more human deaths by hippopotamus relative to any other land animal.
Well, you see them at the zoo and they take like a whole huge pumpkin, like after they, like after the fair. Pumpkin. Yeah, they take a huge pumpkin and they just...
Yeah, they crush it up.
Crush anything. You could put a car in there, just...
I know, you're right. But I'm saying it's a funny song. And I remember, we played it on the station last year. We haven't played it yet this year, but I had worked on my joke about hippopotamus being the deadliest land animal and gotten it. It's like, as my wife calls it, it's open mic night when she hears me doing radio, because I will try that joke and then the next day the song comes up again. I'll try it again, and I'll hone it and refine it, because it's you got to get down to the right millisecond. But last year I had it to the millisecond where I could get in the whole joke about hippopotamus as being the most deadly animal, right as she's about to go into "I want a hippopotamus," and I like that song. I enjoy that song. It's amusing to me.
The hippo hero.
Is that what he is? All right, but if you had a top 5, my friend Bean was quizzing himself on his top 5, and he could only come up with a top 4. And I liked I had some overlap with his top 4. There were a couple in there that I enjoyed, but some that of his top 5 that I would put on my bottom 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like mine are kind of niche and
like what?
weird. Well, I love John Lennon's.
Happy Xmas War is over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like that's, every year. That's just best. And then I love Donny Hathaway's This Christmas is probably like number one.
Yeah, that's good. I think is that an original or is that a cover?
I mean, it's him,
Christmas.
so it's original.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
That's good.
And then another one is like a indie artist, which is a guy named Sufjan Stevens. And
I've heard of him.
He did, and he's interesting because he's an indie artist, but he invokes a lot of great like Christian messages into his music. And he did a whole Christmas album that was really great.
I never knew how to pronounce his name, so I assumed that
I thought it was Sufjan.
Yeah, I thought he played surf music.
Yeah, it was
I thought he was like the Beach Boys, Yeah. I thought, it's like the Ventures. Going Gary Hoey with the surf guitar.
But he's very calm, and it's just like
I don't like calm.
Chill, sweet music.
I don't care.
No calm?
I don't.
Do you want like Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Like
I do enjoy. I do enjoy. They're cheesy. That's my guilty pleasure.
Wait, that's not very Christmassy. Is that the sign of the devil? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had because I'm through East Tennessee PBS. I get on there and I do the pledge. I said, join East Tennessee PBS now with your monthly donation and get tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra at Thompson Bowling Arena.
See, I can't listen to that because my mom used to get really drunk and turn it up louder and louder and louder.
So you've got scars, you've got memories.
Got emotional damage.
But anyway, they gave me in exchange for doing the bit. Instead of paying me, they gave me a pair of tickets to the show.
Oh, you gonna go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course, as far as you're watching this, I already went. It was the other night.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was great.
Did you love it?
Well, I went last year too, and I do love it. It's cheesy, but I also like it because it's designed for people my age. Because nobody stands up. We all just sit.
Oh, no.
We sit, we relax.
Oh, no, you're at that age.
And even though we are 15 rows from the stage on the floor,
y'all are chilling.
the volume is comfortable.
Oh,
it is just right. And their fireworks, we're so close you can feel the heat from the fireworks. And we're like, or the flash
it's kind of warm, right?
Like, isn't that nice?
It's like a nice
it's like
fire.
A fireplace.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fireworks and there's flames and there's wah, ba, ba, dum, bum, ba, ba, dum, and you're like, oh, and it's surrounding you and there's a guy on a crane over your head playing the guitar, and you're like, oh, look at that.
I can't decide if what you're saying is delightfully authentic or really like sad because when I go to concerts, and I go to a wide variety of concerts, like it's depending on who the artist is, it's kind of sad when everyone just kind of sits there like.
No, they're into it. They're all into it. It's just that sometimes the music is just you want to just enjoy it.
But it's true. It's also really annoying depending on who you go see. If like people are drunk and screaming and you can't hear because they're singing really loud.
But I also go to the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra. Nobody stands during that. We all just sit there. We enjoy the music.
Nobody headbangs during the symphony orchestra.
Except during the Hallelujah chorus. It's a very calm experience, and people enjoy it. And then you clap at the appropriate times.
I mean, I guess that's fair. Have you ever been to like a really just raucous concert? Is that the right word? Like
raucous?
Crazy. Raucous? I just make up words.
It's raucous, R-A-U-C-U-S.
Or like, what's the craziest concert you've ever been to that was just uncomfortable?
I don't go to that many.
I've been to several.
When I was younger, I mean, I went to some show, I think it was at the 930 Club. This is before we were married. Jerry and I went to some punk rock band, and there was slam dancing involved.
Did you get bruises?
Probably not. I mean, I probably just like, I'm unenthusiastically. I slam dance a little bit, but I'm like, that's enough.
Frank Murphy only slam dances unenthusiastically.
I was like, I'm like on the outskirts. So like, here, I'll bump you a little bit. No, I've seen enough. But, I mean, I've had 4 seats for Springsteen back in the early 80s. And it was not rock. I mean, it was not rock. It was rocking. Went to some. No, I went to some big concerts, but
if you're not injured, it's not what I'm talking about. Like I saw Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age in the fall of 2000 in Atlanta, and I got hurt, like
that's
injured.
Not good.
Because it's standing room only, and concerts have really changed since then. Unfortunately, there's been things that have happened at concerts in the last several years. People have been injured or died.
Well, I mean, if you go back to 1978, when people got trampled to death at the Who concert in Cincinnati. So things changed from that point forward. But you're talking about today, nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays it's better. It's even more safe, I guess. But back in 2000 when I saw that, I mean, it was literally just like getting bounced and hit and beer bottles and. Yeah. It was not.
That's not good.
It was not good, but it was fun.
You know,
I lost some of my hearing too from the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Much like Dr. Bill Bass lost some of his hearing during the Korean War, and you can get autographed merchandise at bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
Don't ever forget the S. Is it time for that?
Well, why not? It's been 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how Bone Zones goes with Christmas, but you can have a holly jolly Christmas.
I'm trying to get the box of dead things over here. I can't reach it. I didn't do it on the...
Merry Christmas.
I didn't want to do it on the Nativity Pageant
and
show.
And to all a good night. Oh, yes. No.
So, but imagine if you have a friend, a family member, who is in fact a Dr. Bill Bass groupie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to buy the hat and give it to them in time for the holidays?
Ho, ho,
Wouldn't you perhaps want to give someone a nice scientific book like Death's Acre, or a nice thrilling mystery, or not really a mystery because you kind of, but you know what I mean, a thrilling detective story like Carved in Bone?
Yeah.
Or one of the others in the Jefferson Bass, Dr. Bill Brockton series, where the fictional Dr. Brockton runs around and solves cases. Or maybe even, if humor is more your alley, any of the Sam Venable books that you can get also autographed through Bone Zones. And Sam does some book signing appearances and public speaking. You can book him through Bone Zones. You can now book me to come and give the cremation lecture or the history of the body farm lecture, or if you want a different one, I basically have the ability to prepare a lecture about any of the books in the series, because I have, for each of the books in the Jefferson Bass series, I have a 30-minute interview with Dr. Bass that I would then slice up and turn into 60 or 75-minute, whatever it is, I give a 45-minute, 60-minute, whatever it is, presentation about the book and about the forensic science behind that specific book, which is why the cremation lecture isn't really the cremation lecture. It's about the book, the one with the fire.
So you can teach me things I need to know about cremation.
I don't know what you really want to know that much. But yeah, I mean, I've learned.
I mean, I think I'm eventually going to die, so I probably need to.
I grossed out Catherine Frady on the Halloween episode. If you want to go back and watch the Halloween episode, where we got into the details of cremation, and she was aghast. I thought I was going to make her throw up, but she kept pressing me. She wanted to know more. She was fascinated by it.
It's an interesting
topic. Changed her whole view. She doesn't want to be cremated anymore because I've told her too much.
Ooh.
I know.
That's the risk.
Well, yeah. Anyway, but I can because I talked a little bit about it at one of these lectures I was doing, and the crowd gasped. I'm like, it's the truth. You just didn't know it because you watch TV, and TV gives you a false perception of how all of this stuff works. You know, I mean, I just went to the crematory with Helen, and I just watched it. It's my own firsthand. I'm just relating my own firsthand observations.
Wait, so you've watched one occur?
Yeah.
So you saw like a regular human?
It's a regular cremation.
Body.
Yeah, a regular one. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Anyway, bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. In fact, there is the book. Here it is. Here's the list of books. So it is The Devil's Bones, number 5 in the series, in which there is a dead body in a house fire, and the question is, was it the fire set to cover murder? Was this dead body a plant as a fake, to try to just make you think that the bad guy is now dead, or is he faking his own death? There's that question, or all these other things. And then there's also the whole overlay of, and they talk about this in Beyond the Body Farm as well, and in Death's Acre, the whole overlay of the crematory in Noble, Georgia, where the guy just one day stopped cremating people.
I remember that.
And let them pile up in the back, and Dr. Bass had to go help the families.
I didn't realize he was part of that.
Yeah, some families asked him to analyze the cremains that they got back and say, is this in fact my loved one? And he, in some of the cases,
or is it like a squirrel?
Well, it was like a bag of cement mix. It was like dirt, and the guy was just sending anything.
That is horrific.
So, but Dr. Bass at that time realized that there had not been any real investigation, any data on cremation. So he wrote a scientific paper called Cremation Weights in East Tennessee, where he went to the crematory with Helen, and they analyzed the weights of people going in versus the weights of the ashes coming out. And he made a whole chart so that if, let's say, you've got something to start with. So if someone says to you, are there enough ashes here to be my dead
Yeah.
husband, father, grandpa, he can say, yeah, it's within the range. Or no, something is wrong. There's not enough here, or there's too much here.
It's actually really, from a scientific standpoint, it's really interesting.
Yeah. So
And
anyway.
needed.
So if you wanted to hire me to do one of those lectures, you can also contact bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
Bone Zones, don't forget the S.
That's nice. The holiday version of the jingle. I think that's lovely.
Yes. That's what I'm here for, to make silly little songs.
Yes. So
To enhance your viewing experience.
we talked a lot about Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And I will mention that one that I really love by the Boston Pops, the Christmas Festival Overture, the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra plays a version of that, a slightly shorter version of it, as the first song every year at the Clayton Holiday Concert.
Oh, nice.
And that's what makes it feel like Christmas to me, is when I'm there in the audience by myself and looking for my wife up on the stage, and they get into that part, and then when it gets into the transition from Jingle Bells to O Come All Ye Faithful, that 30 seconds right there.
The Christmas
that's
spirit.
It. That's what I want.
See, my version of that is the Peanuts Christmas Sparrow. The Peanuts Christmas special.
Yeah, which is fine with the great jazz track from Vince Guaraldi. Yeah.
Yes, I listen to that soundtrack pretty much nonstop.
I've been there. I used to listen to that quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites.
But then I started. I became dissatisfied with American radio for Christmas songs because, as I mentioned, it's all Frosty and
fluff.
Santa and Rudolph and secular ho ho ho, and I'm just tired of it. And I also hate sad Christmas songs. Can't stand them.
What about Dolly Parton's Hard Candy Christmas?
That is borderline.
It's borderline. It's sad. She's a
but I don't
list.
really listen to the lyrics as much as it's the tempo. I don't like down tempo songs.
Yeah.
So it's borderline.
It's iffy.
But also, she didn't write it.
Yeah. Okay.
No, yeah, some famous songwriter wrote it for the movie Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and Dolly just had to sing it in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's on the soundtrack. But so I started listening to this Irish radio station called Christmas FM. So there's all of these British and Irish Christmas songs that I didn't know. And some of them I love, and some of them now I hate because they overplay them. Like there's this guy named Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas. I don't ever need to hear that one again.
I don't think I've ever heard that song.
Of course not, because it's like one of their standards
that they play and play and play.
Overplay over there, and I'm like, I am done with that one. But there's some rock band called Status Quo.
Okay.
And it's called It's Christmas Time, and it's just a stupid bop.
Yeah.
And it's very secular stupid bop, but you don't hear it here ever. So when I hear it, I'm like, status quo. Or
here it's all Wham,
or as they say over there, status quo.
Status quo.
And I like Wham. I talked with Becca. Do you see that
I
episode?
did. I watched it.
What did you think of Wham again?
I thought it was great. I thought that was hilarious. It's so true, but I'd never thought about it in those terms. And I don't know.
What do you mean? Because
Well, I never thought about the concept of like how overplayed that song is and how often you hear it, just like Mariah Carey's like "All I Want for Christmas Is You." But I don't think I've organically heard that song this year yet. So I haven't. I'm officially.
So you're still alive.
I'm still.
in Whamageddon.
Yes, I'm still.
Yeah,
alive.
I'm multiple dead.
But maybe not for long. But also, I don't go into stores anymore where I get hit with those songs.
But do you listen to commercial radio in your car? You probably don't.
I'm never in my car because I work from home.
All right.
So I listen to Spotify a lot.
So you're in control of what you hear.
Yeah.
You're not going
And
to
YouTube.
randomly get hit
Yeah.
with it. Like I was listening to one of our competitors. I can look at the playlist on the station when I'm on Fun 105.9. So I can tell, like, wow, I missed Last Christmas because it already played at 11:30 this morning, and I know that it's not going to play again for another 32 hours. So, not that I'm ruining I'm not ruining the secrets here, but I've calculated how often it plays.
Yeah.
Like once every day and a half. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to get to hear it. Well, I was punching around the dial, and I'm on one of our competitor stations, and sure enough,
There it is.
boom! I'm like, oh, I just got Whamageddon.
But that's
love it.
When I hear that, it's like if I go into Kohl's or something, or JCPenney's, or run into like a store. That's when you hear those songs.
Yeah.
That's when you get whamped.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't bother me one bit. I love it so much.
But it's fun.
Now, what about Christmas movies?
Yeah.
Because I'm okay. I like Christmas Vacation. We talked about that.
We
with
just
the
watched that
squirrel.
last weekend.
That's a great
And
one.
Elf.
There
Those are the two favorites.
I saw somewhere was doing bar trivia, some Christmas Vacation bar trivia one night, and then next week it was going to be Home Alone bar trivia.
Do you think Home Alone is a good movie?
No. I mean, it's okay. It's enjoyable. It's a slapstick,
It's a pretty
ridiculous comedy.
It's a pretty crappy movie.
It's okay. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. There are very few movies that I watch over and over again. Because for the most part, once I've seen a movie, I'm like, well, I've seen
goodness.
it.
There's certain holiday movies that I watch over and over again.
Holiday movies are the exception, but I'm thinking, I don't know why Home Alone is not in our rotation of repeats. Like, for some reason, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was not in our rotation. Mm-hmm. We watched it last year, and I thought, it was like I'd never seen it. I didn't remember most of it.
Yes, yeah, because it's that old school.
But, It's a Wonderful Life. I'll see that every year. Or
I can't watch that. It's too depressing.
Holiday Inn, or parts of it. You see parts of it, because my wife will have it on. Holiday Inn, White Christmas.
Yeah.
She likes Meet Me in St. Louis, which is like not really a Christmas
It's kind
movie.
of a Christmas
It's got one Christmas.
Yes.
And,
but it's kind of synonymous.
And it's got one of the most depressing Christmas songs of all time. That was so depressing that Frank Sinatra changed the lyrics when he recorded it. That's how depressing that song is. So, that's too depressing.
Got to give it a little lift.
What's the other? I'm trying to think of the other Christmassy movies that we'll watch, but
see, I like all the modern ones,
like
The Holiday, which, Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz.
What's it about?
It's like it's a rom-com. It's kind of like Love Actually.
Do they switch places, like in Freaky Friday?
They change houses.
Do they change personalities?
No. It's not personalities. They change. You got to watch The Holiday. It's
someone I know. I've heard of this.
Yeah. And then there's The Holiday, and then there's Last Holiday with Queen Latifah, where she thinks she's dying, and so she cashes out like all of her 401k, and she goes to like Europe. And it's her last holiday because it's over Christmas.
And then
You're looking at me like people know these movies.
Does she die at the end?
No, she lives, and she ends up marrying LL Cool J, which is like all of our dream. So, it's good.
So she had a false diagnosis?
Yeah. I just ruined the movie for you. Sorry.
Not really. I'm happier. I'm more likely to watch it knowing that it turns out okay.
Yeah, Queen Latifah's the best.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's two.
So some of the
Holiday and Last Holiday.
Yeah, all the holiday. And if it has holiday in the title, just watch it.
I've watched the video for Last Christmas recently.
Yes.
They remastered it last year in 4K.
Woohoo!
It's very nice.
Do you like really cheesy Hallmark movies? You probably don't because you're a guy. But
no.
Some
of them I enjoy because they're cheesy.
They're so cheesy.
I watched one last year. See, but I don't subscribe to enough channels because I'm cheap.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But I saw one last year, and I feel like Lindsay Lohan was in it.
That was on Netflix, right?
Was it? Because I have Netflix.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
But it was at
like a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, but did she have amnesia?
Yeah.
Somebody had amnesia.
Yes.
And Lindsay Lohan.
It was fun.
Yeah, I
watched that last year.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like if there's one that supposedly they filmed in the Smoky Mountains, but I can't get it because I don't have the right channel.
Oh,
it's a rom-com. Yeah. It's a Hallmark rom-com. Yes. Smoky Mountain Christmas.
Yes, the girl I've seen. This is so sad, but
and all these places that I follow on Instagram were posting. Oh, look, they filmed here at Bear Mountain Bear Lab. Something, Bear restaurant.
Is it Danica McKellar who played
Winnie
on The Wonder Years? Yeah, she had one that she filmed exclusively at Dollywood. It's like,
I watched the one that Dolly filmed at Dollywood. It was not good. But it was on NBC.
Yeah. Last year?
Yeah, you're just like,
She did this whole devil montage where it's like, it was a little strange. I was like,
what?
Yeah.
What I remember is it's like they were trying to film a variety show at Dollywood.
Yes.
And the reason I watched it is because everybody from Sevier County is in it.
Yeah, and everybody was watching it.
Like Tim Coleman is in it, and Chuck Winstead, and everybody who does part-time acting in Sevier County was in the movie.
Yeah.
In the crowd scenes. And so that's really all I remember is like,
super fun,
look at the guy. I see all the guys I know.
Yeah.
But it was bad.
It was bad.
It was. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say that it was bad because it was Dolly.
But it's a low bar because Christmas stuff is just fun,
Yeah.
Except for Polar Express.
Now there's a Polar Express. You can go to Beyond
terrible.
the Lens and do an immersive Polar Express where you're in the theater and the chairs are moving and they spray the cold water in your face as the chairs are moving while the train is sliding across the ice and all this.
Creepy.
What's creepy about it? I mean, I think I know.
The animation.
Yeah.
Is weird. And I know it's like an older movie and
they bit off more than they could chew at the time. Think about how great Toy Story looks, right?
Oh my goodness.
But Toy Story looks like a cartoon that's three-dimensional.
Yes.
All right, it's toys, and even the people don't look real. Now, I know I've seen these things where they compare Toy Story 1 versus Toy Story 7 or whatever the new one is. I don't know how many they made.
There's a lot.
But the people or the dogs everything looks more realistic in Toy Story 7. The problem is that Polar Express is much closer to the Toy Story 1 end of the spectrum. And Tom Hanks does not look real. The kid does not look real. So everything looks bad.
It looks like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something weird. It just creeps me out. And every time it's on, like in a public place, I
don't watch it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It would be better if they had just made them look like Rankin Bass animated figures. If they had used computers to make them look like clay figurines or just to make them look like...
Yeah, I don't know what the technique was, but the technique was creepy. It was bad.
Yeah. It was not good.
So don't
I imagine they must have filmed like Tom Hanks and people like that and then tried to animate them.
Yes. It's just weird. So that's my least favorite.
Okay. I mean, it's a good book.
Probably movie.
It's a good children's book.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I don't have kids.
You were a kid.
Yeah.
In time to have read it, right?
Long time ago.
I mean, in the 90s...
In the 90s, I was a teenager. I'm old.
All right. Well, because there used to be a train.
When I was a kid, it was Cabbage Patch Kids and Teddy Ruxpin. And
okay.
Remember when people used to fight over Cabbage Patch Kids?
I do. I remember when I worked in radio, we were tried to buy a Teddy, we would have to go get a Teddy Ruxpin somehow so that we could give it away on the radio.
Speaking of extra creepy, what was more creepy than a Teddy Ruxpin?
I don't know. I didn't have one.
It was like, I'm going to eat you in your sleep.
I just remember the joke was you would take like some hard rock cassette and put that in the back
instead.
and
his eyes would cross and it's like metallic.
Did you have one?
No, because that thing was creepy. My friends did. I also never had an Etch-a-Sketch. I really wanted one of those. Or not an Etch-a-Sketch. I had one of those, a Light Bright.
Oh, Light Bright? Light it up with light?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are overrated. My kids had that.
Cool.
No, it was overrated. Etch-a-Sketch was better.
Maybe I'll ask Santa for a Light Bright.
What do you do? I mean,
At the ripe old age of 44.
Putting the pegs, the lights in the holes?
Yeah. It's fun. It's good old-fashioned fun. Why not?
Like, let's have our child play with a hot light bulb.
Yeah.
It's like
the Easy Bake Oven.
Right. If you haven't burned yourself in the Easy Bake Oven, maybe you can burn yourself on Light
Yes.
Bright.
I also wanted an Easy Bake Oven.
Did you notice our neighbor with the 20-foot skeleton on your way in?
Yes, and the head is missing. So when I drove in,
when did the head come off?
The head was missing.
It was on there this morning.
Yeah, I think they're taking stuff down so they can decorate for Christmas. I don't really know.
Oh, I bet she swapped the head out and she's going to put on a Santa hat on it. I'll bet you.
I guess I need to go knock on her door and see what she's doing.
Okay.
But yeah, yes, he was there. Just kind of with no head.
He had the pilgrim hat on this morning.
Oh, okay.
So this just happened. Okay, this is breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Murphy's neighborhood.
Breaking news. They've taken the head off the 20-foot skeleton. And the question is, does the skeleton come down or does the skeleton get a Santa hat? I don't know how many. We'll have to find out in the next episode when Becca comes.
I want it to have a beard too.
Okay, I think he did last year. See, my recollection is that she Santa'd him up. Santa'd him up last year.
Santa'd him up?
So,
okay.
She's put the 20-foot skeleton up in October.
Yes.
Obviously. And had the Halloween decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that Google Street Views is remapping West Knoxville.
I saw this on Facebook.
Fact, on my way home today, I saw the Google Street Views car turn onto Middlebrook Pike, and I wondered if I could maybe find myself at some point, as I'm driving, or if they blur me out. And they remapped our neighborhood.
Yes.
And the reason I found it is when we did the podcast last week, the nativity pageant lady was coming over. She'd never been here before. So I go to Google Maps, I find my house, I send her
the photo,
the address so that she can click on it and have driving directions.
Yeah.
Piece of cake, right? I do that often.
It's easy to find this
First
house.
time you came over, I sent it to you.
Easy to find this house.
Not that hard. Not very hard. Very difficult. Super difficult.
Everybody come to Frank Murphy's house.
It's so hard. Well, so Google Street Views you can look back over the years and I noticed that now our house looks different because of some of the improvements we've made, but also because of the trees that Steve's Tree Service, which they're out of business now, I wish they were great, they took down in the front of the house. If you go back to previous Google Street Views, it looks like my house doesn't exist
Because the
there's
trees
so many
are so
trees.
large. Yeah.
They took down so many trees
Yeah.
over the course. What Jere has done this over the past 10 years. She's had them just kill that one, down, death to you. So every couple of years.
Were they diseased trees, or were they just
No, she
like
just hated
get rid of them?
It was like, well,
okay.
I didn't remember. She says, do you remember how many red buds we used to have? I'm like, no, we had 1 or 2. She says, no, we had like 6 or 8 red buds removed.
Oh, wow.
And these 2 maple trees removed. One of the maple trees was in bad health, so
Yeah.
she was worried it was going to fall in the house.
We had that situation too. We lost a big, beautiful tree.
Well,
We
she
were sad
killed it
about
before it had a
She
chance.
was like, bye-bye.
And got, you're
Get out of here.
Yeah, you're done. So now you can see the house on Google Street Views.
Yeah.
But so I noticed this. I was, they've updated our house. So then I'm like wondering, when did they do this? So I start spinning around. As I rotate around, I'd see the nice family across the street with a huge spider web on their
nice.
porch. And I'm like, oh, that's a Halloween decoration. Mm-hmm. So then I
good
start
pinpoint.
scrolling down the street a little bit
Yeah.
to the neighbor, and her now permanent Google Street View
I
picture.
saw this. This is the big skeleton with all the beautiful Halloween decorations. Like, they go hard on the Halloween decorations, and it's a beautiful thing. It's fun.
See, she is so excited. I sent her a screen grab right away, and she was like, you send like
Yes.
all caps, OMG, every emotion or emoticon or emoji, whatever it is you call it, all of them,
Yeah.
every pumpkin and skeleton head. Like, this is the greatest thing ever.
But do you know what I also love about your neighborhood is when I drove through today, because it's been a month or so since I've come over,
Yeah.
and now all the Christmas decorations are out, and everybody has the inflatables. Like the inflatable
Yeah, I know. I feel like so
Christmas.
under-decorated.
No, it's okay. Like, so my husband hates those and refuses.
Well, they look so bad during the day.
But that's what he says.
They
He's
look-
like,
they look
he's
so-
like, oh, they're tacky, and I'm like, it's fun. Come on, like
They look fine when they're inflated.
Yes.
They
So
look
I had to
terrible when they're flat.
I have little, like, I don't have a photo of it, but I have a little Grinch set up at my house. So I have the Grinch, and
Well,
I
you
have
had
the
the wooden Peanuts crew for Halloween.
Yes. I went, it's just not as crazy as that. It's just like, it's the Who Christmas tree that's kind of leaning.
Yeah, yeah.
And that he stuffs up the chimney, and it's like the Grinch with a very Grinchy face on, and like Max, his dog.
Okay.
And a couple of little Christmas trees. It's like, it's not overboard. But
Well, my
it's fun.
neighbors, I mean, Jere she was talking about, in fact, she's talking about doing it today while we were recording, but then realized it would make too much noise, about hanging, she's got some lights she'll hang from the banister, but that's like it. We don't go, there's only just the 2 of us. I'm not going to put a lot of effort into decorating for Christmas.
Yeah, you guys need to come over to our house like soon, because
invite us anytime.
I seriously went a little nuts with Christmas this
Well, we
year.
put out the balls.
Yes, I love
This
it.
is what we got. This is what we got so
I'm
far.
so here
Oh,
for
the
it.
tree. She put some stuff on the Christmas tree.
I did a whole like snowflake motif, so everything is like snowy in my living room.
Oh.
And
So
with
a
some
motif.
red. Yeah, with some red. It's kind of like a North Pole vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is we're getting older, and we've got stuff that we've collected over the years, and it's just a clash. It's just like,
No,
here's
that's
something from the
good.
80s, and here's something from the 2000s, and it's just so.
Yeah, but we're newly married, like relatively speaking, in relation to
Yeah,
you
to
guys.
me,
Like we've
yeah.
been married 6 years, so like we have,
Motifs.
Yeah, we're getting our own stuff now, which
Well,
is kind of cute.
I was sitting in the den, which is the official office of the Frankenfriend show, as far as the income tax IRS is concerned.
The den.
As far as the IRS is concerned,
There it is.
That's the home office over there. But because I only deduct this little area of this house, not the whole. You can't deduct the whole house. That would be, as my late great CPA said, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. So keep that in mind when in situations like that. But you got to be fair. You can't go exaggerating and grabbing more than you deserve.
Yeah, be careful.
Don't grab more than you deserve.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in there writing up a description for an episode or whatever it was, and I hear this noise, this scritchy, scratchy noise, and it's driving me crazy because it sounds like birds, it could be mice, and I look out the window and I realize there's a holly bush on the corner of the house.
Oh, yeah, just kind
and
of
it's got
blowing.
these hard leaves, these green, evergreen hard leaves, and it's scratching the drain pipe and the siding. It sounds like an animal. So I'm like, well, Jerry's not home. I will surprise her. She was at a rehearsal or a concert. I don't know where she was. I will surprise her, and I will go get the lompers, and I will go out there, and I will cut the branches that are scraping against the house.
Yeah, do a good thing.
Do a good thing. Well, next door neighbor Nancy spots me, and she's so excited because she was freshly back from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, where she marched with the Lego float.
Wow, like this year? Up
She
in
goes
New
every
York?
year. Yeah, last
Oh.
year she was with the, I forgot what kind of float she was with last year. It was a different brand.
Now that's Christmassy.
Oh, she's all in.
That's cool.
And she brought us back some delicious Italian cookies from a bakery in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So she's excited. She says, "Oh, I want to come over and give you and Jere this
yeah.
present." But she spots me, and
I need to be friends with her.
she has come outside to change the orange light bulbs for Thanksgiving to white light bulbs for Christmas along the walkway.
Oh.
And she sees me, and I'm dealing with this wrestling with this holly bush. She says, "Oh, are you going to decorate it for Christmas?" Like, no, I'm cutting branches off of it. I'm killing part of it because I hate it. Oh, but that would look so pretty if you put lights on it for Christmas. I said, no, I'm actually trimming it because it was scratching against the house and it sounds like a mouse and it's upsetting my wife and me and we don't like the noise.
Yes.
Oh, but it really, I said, it would look so good with lights on it. I said, well, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
And then she says, I said it's a lot of work. Nancy says, oh, but I have a ladder I'll let you borrow. I'm like, Nancy.
The ladder's not the problem.
And this is where I bit my tongue. And I know Nancy watches, so I'll tell you, Nancy, I'm confessing now. I did, at this point, stop talking because I knew that anything else I say can and will be used against me.
Oh, no. She's trying to be helpful.
She's very lovely and very helpful, and she wants me to decorate this holly bush that's on the corner on her side of the house.
Yeah.
Because my thought was, no one else is going to see it except you, Nancy. It's around the house we can't see it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, only she would, something, well, have at.
We could hire somebody to do it. Have you heard of this? There's like these.
Yes. When I lived in California 30 years ago, people would do this.
Yeah.
There was our pool guy. We had a pool guy who would come and pour the chlorine in.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything how to do a pool yet, so he would come every couple of weeks, and he had a pool store that was in our neighborhood.
So in the off season,
he turned it into a Christmas store. So we would Jerry and I used to collect Christmas ornaments. So we would go in there all the time and look around and we would try to buy new, exciting Christmas ornaments from Bill, the pool guy. And I remember one time he used to listen to Mark and Brian on KLOS. So I was kind of like, not a celebrity, but I was on the show.
Yes.
So he was excited that I would come in.
yeah.
Well, one time my mom came to visit and we took her and we all went to Disneyland for a Mark and Brian broadcast. So we're all lumped in this big hotel room with my wife and me and Jere and Megan and Frankie and Frank Jr., Dr. Frank Jr., PhD, and my mother. And everyone's in there.
I love
So we go over and Jerry brings the kids over to be live on the air from Disneyland with Mark and Brian and Mr. Owl, who's me. And Mark and Brian start interviewing Frank Jr. because he always would say something. They loved talking to him on the air. They would have him call in and pretend to be a character. One time he had to call in and pretend to be some kind of exotic prince who had befriended Michael Jackson. And they ask him, Prince, what do you wear when you're near, when Michael Jackson and you go to wherever? It's fake. It's all fake, but it was based on a news story. And he said, it's like, well, I wear my fancy pants. And he would always say something, right? So they're interviewing him. How do you like the Disneyland hotel? What's it like? And Frank Jr. says on the air that, well, Grandma is back in the hotel room and she snores really loudly.
Oops.
Okay, so this is now out on the air. My mother's asleep. She doesn't know.
Yeah.
We go back home to Burbank, and for whatever reason, Grandma wants to buy a present for the children. So I said, well, why don't we get them like a little basketball hoop or some kind of little thing that they can play in the pool. I've got my eye on this one. You fill the base with water. You got a basketball. So we go to the pool store. And Bill, the pool guy, says, oh, hey, Grandma, I hear you snore. My mother was mortified, and she was so angry. She was like, how does he know I snore? How does this strange man know I snore? I'm like, well... you see, we were...
What had happened was, may have been heard by what? Hundreds of thousands of people on the radio.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't hire somebody to do the...
I know, you could
Christmas
hire
light.
this guy Bill. He would come.
No, I'm saying there's services. And
I realized that, but they would come and they would staple it to your house and they'd come back and they remove it.
Yeah, but do you know how much it cost way back when?
It would cost too much. I know it was, I asked him and immediately was ruled out it was too much then, and I'm sure it's too much now.
Oh, well, so they do flyers in our neighborhood, and my husband was like, yeah, let's do this. This is great. And I was like, this is going to be really, really expensive. And he's like, yeah, a few $100. And I'm like, No, this is gonna be really expensive. So I got a quote for
How
our
much is it?
house. So I got a quote like.
And is your house like huge?
It's like a 2-story.
Like smaller than this one?
No, it's bigger than this one. But,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's like a 2-story. So what they wanted to do is do an outline.
Yeah.
You know, to outline the house and just white lights and, you know,
Yeah, like
whatever.
you would see in a nice rich neighborhood. Like where you...
$2,900. And I was like, is this worth it to you? And he goes, no. And then that was the end of that. But, you know, and people do it. Like, who has this money? To just, I mean, of all the things to spend money on. I'm not wealthy at all. I'm just merry and bright. I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, I told the people at the charity that you were wealthy now, so they're going to be calling.
So they'll be calling to get money for me. Well, I like to give donations, but not wealthy people donations, just donations. But they'll volunteer.
All right, well, let's wrap it up because we've been talking. I mean, we probably could have edited this into 2 episodes.
I swear.
I know, time flies when you're here.
Time flies.
Yeah,
It's the
well, I
best.
appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Yes.
What I should do is put you on the Frady plan where
Yes.
she brings 2 outfits.
Yes, I've done that before.
Have we?
Yeah, it's been a long time ago.
I did not remember
like
that.
maybe the first time I was on the show.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, if you want to get in that mode, we can do
Yeah.
because I can milk it into 2 episodes and, I don't know.
Oh, I only do it if like one of the episodes is like now, like Christmas, and the other episode is like 4th of July or something. Like we just do something where we pretend like it's, you know.
I have to redecorate everything. I have to
It's Christmas in July. Yeah.
pull up all the red tablecloths.
Just make it as weird as possible.
Change
Yeah,
everything.
let's
Okay.
do it.
That's humorous.
It's always fun to be
That's
here.
fun.
Yes.
You can, of course, listen to any kind of audio entertainment, including this show, when you subscribe to Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/FrankandFriendsShow for your free 30-day premium membership. And premium members get an MP3 download every month where you get to keep the first one forever. And these are basically, you're downloading these onto your own personal device, so you keep the files, even if you eventually give up your Audible membership. But they're confident that you're going to want to keep it going because there's always new things coming out
Always
every
new
week,
books.
every month. And wherever you are, when you're driving around, like if Jerry wants to go visit family between Christmas and New Year's, so he could listen to something, a podcast, listen to a book, listen to...
It's the quickest way to get the new books, too. If you have a new book that somebody recommends you, just get it on Audible. That's what I like about it.
And if you don't like the book, you just move on?
Yeah, you just go to something else.
Do you ever fast forward like to the middle to see if you still like it? That's what I would do with real books. I would like occasionally flip through to see.
I mean, we're pretty prolific readers in our house. So, I mean, I kind of have a lane of things I like to read. So,
all right.
I usually know it's pretty good.
Okay, well, fair enough. So you can do that. Go to audibletrial.com/FrankandFriendsShow, and you're helping us out. You're also helping us out when you buy the fabulous merchandise, like the towel.
We need a new item because it's no longer summer. So, I don't know about,
people take
I don't know about the
showers.
towel.
I've decided that people
I'm
take
gonna
showers.
Get one of these for home.
Well, I like this because it's got the full artwork,
And it's really
and it was
soft.
really hard to make it on the app where you design the stuff. For some reason, uploading this logo and getting it to fit to the edges was a challenge for me. I'm not artistically
And it also
inclined.
serves as a great community banner when you're in a pinch.
It does. But the mugs, I need more. I want the. You know what I want for Christmas is I want the pint glasses.
Oh, yeah.
I think those are attractive.
Do you have the big obnoxious
I
cups
don't-
with Frank and Friends on it?
I don't know. I'll have to go
We
see.
can get a
if-
sticker.
We do have die cut stickers, but I will check and see if they are now, if the merch company is now selling, those things.
Always a fun variety on there.
But yeah, and of course the hoodie. It is definitely hoodie season.
It is 100% hoodie
And
season.
did you see the picture of Bruce Patrick wearing his crew-necked version of the Frank and Friends hoodie?
I did
it's not hoodie. It's a crew-necked.
Yeah, just like a sweatshirt.
Yeah, it looks the same as this in the front, but not a zipper and not a hood. It's just a crew neck.
Yeah.
But I think it's got the same bit. When I designed it, I'm pretty sure I put
Giving
the
you
same
some publicity.
large logo on the back. And I appreciate Bruce. In fact, I promised I would put it in when you were here, but I ended up using it when Becca was here. So,
Yeah, we
ladies
love
and
him.
gentlemen, I present to you now Bruce Patrick. So you can talk and move. I mean, it's just because he's stationary doesn't mean... I just was doing a magic trick. I think it's funny. I think it looks...
Did I transform into Bruce Patrick?
No, I was putting him in between. I mean, you did kind of lean in a little bit. Lean back the other way, because I probably had to make him smaller. But give him a little room. Ready? Here's what we're going to... Ladies and gentlemen, on the count of 3, I present to you Bruce Patrick. I forgot to count to 3. But it doesn't really matter.
We just did it anyways. Oh. We're very silly.
I love it, though. I love it so much. Thanks so much for watching and telling your friends about us. And
Yes.
also,
Subscribe
on the YouTubes.
Dang it.
It's okay if you subscribe on the audio podcast apps, but I don't really get any statistics on that.
YouTube.
YouTube is what I care about because eventually I hope to make pennies, literal pennies, from the giant Google corporation, which they're already putting the ads in the show.
They are.
But I don't get paid unless you subscribe. Please, one stat I noticed, 98% of the people who watch this channel are non-subscribers.
Interesting.
I think most of them are watching the Titanic video from 2 years ago.
And then they kind of look at other videos.
Yeah, they're not. They don't. It doesn't. They're interested in Titanic. They're not interested in this Regis and Kathy Lee Kelly like talk show. But
Rather be Kelly.
Regis and whomever. I just want to be Regis.
Okay.
That's all I want to be is Regis. But please do subscribe or trick your friends into subscribing.
Yes.
I don't know if you're at.
Get bots to subscribe, whatever.
If you're
works.
home for the holidays, and you happen to have access to someone else's phone and you can subscribe
just
on
subscribe.
their phone.
Yeah, do it.
If you're at the store and they've got a display of tablets or cell phones, whatever, just, if you can subscribe. I don't know how I guess you got to log in with your Gmail account.
Yeah.
So don't do that. But somehow, if someone's left their phone open and they got their Gmail logged in.
Subscribe.
Yeah, do that.
For the holidays.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You're a dear.
Great to see you.
You're merry and bright.
I am.
Have a wonderful Christmas. If I don't see you before that, I don't know. You're welcome to come back.
Yes.
You're invited back.
And I'll come back to see Mo, festive Mo.
It's all a matter of your schedule more than, I'm going to be here. I'll be recording episodes with whatever lovely beauty shows up. This week
Just happy to be here.
This week it's you. Next week it's Becca James. And then maybe Frady after that. I don't know. Just keep them coming,
We're gonna
love.
keep them going.
Keep them coming.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
It is the Frank and Friends Show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Sarah Roberto.
And we'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.
Seriously, that was like an hour. If we talked just a couple more minutes, we would have hit the hour.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I should milk it for another hour. I mean, do I want to keep it up going for an hour? No. We got to go. You got to leave. We have to stop the recording.
I'm going to go home to see my doggy.
All right.
I do want to show you my Christmas tree real quick, though.
Okay. Bye.